that for some individuals it's difficult to turn off that. And that type of approach continues on to, is applied to the world at large, or to people, to interpersonal relationships, and it doesn't work because the world's going to go the way the world wants to go, and people are going to have the right to do with their life what they want to do, not necessarily what I think they should do. So individuals with unhealthy anger tend to have this very strong demandingness. So part of the process, and part of the challenge in treatment is how to help individuals see that. And how to help them see that perhaps in some spheres of functioning that has worked for them and has helped them. But in other spheres of functioning it becomes counterproductive. And a lot of times I have the clients that I've seen in treatment with anger problems are not individuals who wake up one day and say, you know, I have an anger problem, let me go and take care of it. Are individuals who have been coerced, either by their employer who says, you know, next outburst, you're fired, so you better go do something about it, or the family who says, you know, next time you act this way, I'm taking the children walking away. So then the person comes in, and often, you know, there's still, even though they come into treatment, there's still a reluctance to recognize and admit that it is my problem, you know, because of this sort of projection of blame, externalization of blame to other people. Now, so here, demanding individuals tend to experience higher levels of this unhealthy anger, but then you can go to that path and you have other cognitive characteristics of individuals with intense anger, you know, and sometimes rage and aggression, which is that tendency to take things personally. That, you know, this person really singled me out for this maltreatment. Now, it could have been me there, it could have been you, it could have been somebody else. The person just acted the way he acts because that's the way he or she is. But the person with more prone to anger, intense anger, you know, tends to take things very personally and sees himself or herself as the center of the attacks from other individuals. And then the last step in this process is the negative labeling. That again, individuals with high propensity towards anger tend to label the identified culprit in very demeaning, derogatory terms. And often that facilitates acts of aggression. So that, you know, when we devalue the worth of the other human being, then it makes it easier to justify aggression. And sometimes becomes almost like a righteous thing that I'm going to teach this person, or this person deserves to be treated this way. And we do that, you know, individually. I see that, you know, with individuals who, in clinical practice, individuals who have engaged in aggression, that often, you know, they use this very demeaning, derogatory terms towards the other person. We also see that collectively. You know, even if you think about the last few years, the times that we are, as a nation, have gone to war. That, you know, I'm thinking in terms of Panama, Iraq, and so forth. But I mean, regardless of how you feel about it, but, you know, if you look at the process, that it's usually, you know, we focus on the leader, whether it was Noriega in Panama, Saddam Hussein in Iraq, and in a way demonize that person, make it the worst possible individual, because that then justifies going in and attacking and aggression. So certainly that negative labeling justifies often the acts of aggression. So again, here, the first two steps to me define anger in terms of, or you know, define the experience and expression of anger in a healthy way. That the other three steps, demandingness, personalization, and negative labeling, really are more characteristics of the unhealthy anger. So when I work with a client, it starts to help me to kind of get a more clear picture of this person may be thinking. And again, I try not to generalize, but just, now that if I formulate my hypothesis and conceptualize a case, then the question is, how does this fit with the individual sitting in front of me? So we work on that, and often, we go through these models to help a person understand his or her own experiences. Although I would say probably 99% of the individuals I work in treatment with anger are men, because they come to treatment because of often the aggression, either verbal, physical aggression. There. Okay. So now the next few slides are things that I already talked about, and really a little more detail in terms of the different steps in the process of anger. So I just want to maybe highlight a few things as we go through this that maybe we can address. We talk about negative emotions generally associated with the perception of a loss of the value object. The externalization of blame and control, again, having experienced a loss, who do you blame? Now, sometimes there's someone to blame. Maybe it was an accident. But one of the things that we know is that, often individuals, and I mentioned before, individuals with anger, have experienced anger, may see themselves as powerless. So they see themselves as, somebody else caused this problem for me, and somebody else has the control. If I think somebody caused a problem, but I have the control to change circumstances, then I may feel a different intensity of emotion. But there's certainly external levels of control to the solution to those problems, so that not only does the individual has an external focus in terms of blame attributions, but also in terms of control attributions. Demandingness, talk about that. Self-reference and personalization, the other one, and then finally over-condemnation. And this is really a common mechanism linked with high levels of toxic anger. And this is sort of the regulatory the other thing that is important here is the issue of gender role socialization. And the fact is that the literature shows that no gender has a monopoly on the experience or the expression of anger, and that men and women experience and express anger at an equal rate. What the difference is in the way that we express the anger, the mechanism of expressing the anger, and that's often dictated by gender role socialization, that where men are more socialized into aggressive pattern, where aggression is sometimes normalized, and women are socialized to see that as a threat to relationships and not feminine, not ladylike. If you recall, in the most recent election, that when Hillary Clinton was running against Barack Obama for the Democratic nomination, that one of the first, regardless of how you feel about her, but one of the first, I guess, accusations that was hurled against her was, "Oh, she's an angry woman." We don't want to cross that line, because that's probably a very quote unquote bad thing. Or if a man expresses anger and comes to the table, and then that's pretty much accepted. It's not seen as a problem. So again, some of the studies have shown that women are discouraged from an early age from expressing anger directly. Deborah Cox has a theory of anger diversion that looks at how women divert their anger into other patterns of behavior. So part of the process of working with women is to, first of all, help the women acknowledge their anger, give a voice to the anger, something that anger is left in silence, and then transform into other pathologies. I recognize in some cases the issue of powerlessness. Like, this is really a pervasive theme in women's anger. There are some